Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today we're gonna do a continuation of our last video that was very important for a lot of you people out there. Like I always say, the things they don't teach you in school, rather as high school or college, about getting into the real world and have to take care of certain expenses and stuff like that. That video was called
Independency.
Now this one is gonna be, we're gonna title this one Apartment or Condominium. Which one's best for you? So we all know a lot of you out there, especially you young cats, you want to get your very own apartment. You want to move out of your parents' house. And that's wonderful. It's nothing greater than having your own place. That is one of the greatest things about independence. You go, this is mine. So if you want to be a bum, you want to be leaving dishes all in the sink, you don't want to clean up like your parents told you to do, you don't want to do all the responsible things that your parents told you that you should be doing, when you get your own apartment, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? If you got you a condominium, you can do that as well. But we're going to show you the difference here of apartment. Because I remember at one time, that's all you used to talk about. I'm going to get my own apartment. I'm going to get my own apartment. Like so many young cats say and do. Mm-hmm. But you're not really looking at the importance of the difference and how lucrative one is more than the other. And that's going to be the word of the day, lucrative. Now, if you look up the word lucrative, it simply means profitable. Something that's beneficial to you. In most cases, profitable. So I'm going to do some very short, simple numbers. We're going to make this a short, simple video. Here go very short, simple numbers. Let's say you got an apartment. Now, we're going to make the comparison of both. Let's say you got an apartment, and let's say your rent was $1,000. Okay, how about you do it? Yeah, that'd be cool. Your rent was $1,000.
Was it here too?
And let's compare it to if you got a condominium. Your condominium mortgage, M-R-T.
See, I know how to smell mortgage.
Let's say your mortgage was $1,000.
Write it big, guys.
All right. So look at the difference. You got $1,000 for rent. You got $1,000 for mortgage. Now, let's say, so over a year, 12 months in a year, right? Mm-hmm. So over a year, you'd have paid what?
$12,000.
$12,000.
Sorry, I had an error.
You paid $12,000 in rent. You'd have paid 12. So over 1 year, say 1 year, 12,000 in rent and 12,000 in mortgage, right? Same comparison, right? Now we are well aware already the huge difference is obviously you get an apartment, more than likely they're going to tell you got to have 1 or 2 months in advance rent. Yeah. So if your rent is $1,000 a month, you may have to put up $2,000. Whereas in mortgage, so you might have to put up $2,000
so basically a security deposit?
For security, yes.
Okay.
If you want to write it. For security purpose. Just to secure the apartment, right? Whereas the huge difference to get this condo, you may have to put, you may have to put up first time buyer's fee. You might have to put a down payment of $3,000 or let's go with $5,000.
That's if you really want something really nice.
It might even be $10,000 depending on what you get.
Where the area.
So we're going to go with $5,000 security. But it's not security, it's really your down payment. So put $5,000 as down payment.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
no problem. $5K down payment. So as you can see already, there is a huge difference and a gap in money because you got to put security down to secure the apartment, right? So you save your checks to get that security. But if you want the condominium, a lot of places, especially in a nice area, they're going to ask you for about 700 credit rating and above. And you're going to have to put a down payment such as maybe about close to $5,000, even $10,000. Now we know everybody don't have $5,000 or $10,000 put down. So a lot of people just focus on, I just want to get my own place. That's all. This is too much. I ain't worried about that. I can't afford it anyway. But there is a huge difference. And that's why I said I'm going to make this video short and simple for you to understand and really help you think outside the box and think about the lucrative things that you should be doing and could be doing, especially if you got a support system to help you do so.
So sorry.
We'll get it later. Don't worry about it. So $1,000 a month accumulates to $12,000 in 1 year on both places, right? But here's the difference. and where it comes in lucrative and just having an apartment. Let's say you lived in both these places for 5 years. So 5 times
60,000.
So let's write $60,000. 5 years. You would have spent $60,000 if you lived here in this apartment. $60,000 a year here. 5 years. $60,000. So what I'm saying here is, if you lived in this apartment for 5 years, you would have given your landlord $60,000. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of that 5 years, rather he evict you for whatever reasons, good or bad, or if you just decided to move on your own
Or even
will.
what you say sometimes, like landlords' families come out of
Maybe a landlord family got to move in and they say, I got to move you out because of the law say I could have emergency. My family could move in. We got to evict you out. So in other words, or let's just say in 5 years, you decide to move on to something better. You might move on to a condo or a house, right? In 5 years, you would have gave the landlord $60,000. And at the end of that 5 years, he or she would just say, thanks for renting here for a while. Have a good day. That's all. That's it. That is it. But here's the difference of the lucrative thing over here with a condo. $60,000. Let's just say, let's put a 160K. Let's put a condo. Let's just put it right here. 160K is what the condo would have cost you. Right? So now, 5 years living over here, you would have spent $60,000 just like here. But now $60,000 would have been minus 60 from 160, which will give you 100, right? 100,000. Now here's a huge difference. Every year, so for the 5 years, you now got a remaining balance of $100,000 left. Every year, you was able to file taxes on this money that you pay every all year. You was able to file taxes. And then you get a return on your taxes because you're paying taxes. You can't file taxes on this here. And after, like I said, after 5 years, you done spent $60,000. It's just, okay, adios, bye-bye, that's it. But after 5 years over here, $60,000, you lessened your mortgage. Now, you bought it at 160. Now you only owe 100,000 left. And not only that, we know what am I looking for? Housing market, mortgage.
It fluctuates?
All of that fluctuate. Property, it always fluctuate. But in 5 years, if you bought this at 160, more than likely, just to throw a round number out to you, more than likely you bought it at 160, 5 years later, this house now has appreciated to 260,000. So now you owe 100,000 left on it. If you decide to sell it, that means it's at 260, right? That means 100,000 is gonna go right to paying off your remaining balance.
Your debt,
meaning you got $160,000 profit. It's almost like the same what you bought it for.
Yeah.
You will profit. You go right lucrative. Now this where once again it comes in lucrative to have a condo, because over those years of you paying the mortgage towards that condo, now you can sell your property. You can't sell the apartment. You can resell your condo, and more than likely it's going to appreciate. Who knows? It may appreciate way more than you thought. It may appreciate only a little, but it will appreciate.
Still benefiting from the condo.
This is lucrative. This is
apartment.
Not. You will not gain anything from here except for I get to leave my dirty sneakers around. I ain't got to hear my mama and my daddy mouth. I got my own place. That's cool. We are well aware everybody don't have that big down payment, $5 grand, $8 grand, $10 grand, whatever it is. We do understand that. But one thing I will say to a lot of you young cats out there, if you're about to get your own place, don't be just so hasty to go get it. Don't be so quick to go get it, because this will be the better one for you to do.
In the end.
Because if you look at a lot of these condos, when you go in them, you be like, this looks like an apartment. What is different of this from my apartment that I have? I got a 2-bedroom with 2 bathrooms, or I got a 1-bedroom with 1 bathroom in the living room. This is just like your condominium. But the difference is I'm going to profit and I can resell. And another thing, just like I always say, or like business always say, location, location, location. If you get a condo, it's good to get a condo in the area where your resale will be good. You know, next to not too far from a train station. A lot of New Yorkers love to come to Jersey and rent over here and catch a train back to New York. It's cheaper. So location, location, location. That's another one of my videos. I touched on some great points on that video, and it's called just that, location, location, location. So just remember, if you're about to get your first apartment, that is wonderful. There's no greater thing than having your own property, your own thing. But if you are, try to get a lucrative one, such as a condo. We know a house would be a bit extreme. You might just want to take baby steps, such as a condo. Maybe you do want to do baby steps as an apartment and get to a condo, then to a house. Who knows?
Nothing wrong with that.
But you should always have in mind you want to own something, opposed to owning nothing but the Jordans that you buying all the time, all the silly stuff. I'm buying Jordans, Birkin bags, and all kind of dumb stuff.
It's a Birkin.
Yeah, whatever that's called, that dumb stuff. That's not lucrative. You want to buy stuff that is lucrative, and you want to have ownership. Anything you want to add in this?
You pretty much covered everything. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started, I was always apartment, came out of my mouth, apartment. You have this great man right here that just told me it's better to own something than to give your hard work money to somebody else when you can use that money and flip it and regain that back even probably more.
Now, don't that feel and sounds great? 5 years, you gave away $60,000. When you think, like, damn, I gave $60,000.
You could have used that $60,000 on a trip and have a condo.
But you are paying for your own place, so
You
it is
are.
something. You got your own place.
Yeah.
But $60,000 over here, you was able to get money back in your taxes every year,
And pay what you owe.
and paying what you owe, and you get to flip it at the end and say, you know what? I'm ready to move on to a bigger condo or a bigger house or out of state, whatever the case. Guess what? I'm gonna put it up for sale. And when you put it up for sale, you go, wow, my place is worth this much now. I bought it at this. It's worth this much. So it's gonna pay off your remaining.
What?
It's gonna pay off your remaining balance, and you're gonna profit in a lucrative way. Word of the day. You're gonna profit by the remaining balance that goes in your pocket. See what I'm saying? So, apartments are nice to have, especially if you have your own thing. I know I'm being redundant here, but a condo is thinking ahead of game. As I love to say that as well. You want to think ahead of the game. You want to think long term, because long term is how you want to be able to be successful and say, you know, I wasn't thinking short term. I was thinking in a long term version of how I'm going to end this game. You know what I'm saying? And I want to end it to win. On that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.